Everybody, Dr. Kyle here at Delpit Strength and Wellness with the final workout in the Fundamentals of Fitness program. You guys have crushed this month of training. You have made gains in your abilities to perform the 6 fundamental movements. You've built in strategies to make sure your fitness journey is stable and gives you some longevity and sustainability. This is the finish line. Let's have a great workout and then figure out where we need to go next. So let's get right to it. Timer started. We're warming up as always based on the workout ahead of us. So we're going to start on the floor with some dead bugs, which is an excellent all-around core exercise to get things primed and ready. Good work for the low back. So we're going to start in the dead bug position. You want to make sure you glue your back to the mat. So no arching in the back. Glue that low back to the mat so that you can't even fit a sheet of paper underneath here, okay? From that position, keep that low back glued down. You're going to go opposite arm leg to the ground behind you and repeat. Now, one of the temptations that'll happen here is oftentimes you're going to push this arm forward. Don't let that happen. Lock in these arms nice and stable and the leg nice and stable. Just move through the shoulder joint and the hip joint, keeping that core locked in. This is where the core function in the dead bug comes into play, is really locking in that stable crossbody pattern as you extend through the other side, okay? We're going to go for about 12 reps here, so 6 per side. Going to do 2 more on each side. Okay, there we go. Starting to feel it in the core. Really getting that prepped and warm today. Now we're going to do some serratus presses. Okay, so we're going to activate the serratus. We're going to start in a bear position. We'll move to a high plank and then a bear crawl position if we can get 3 rounds in. So here, bear position on the knees, okay, or quadruped position, sorry. All you're going to do is sink through the shoulders. So the elbows are going to stay locked out. You're going to sink through the shoulders and then push up and through till you feel that tension in your mid back. Sink through to the ground. Press through again. Okay, we want to make sure we're screwing those arms into the floor of the mat so your elbow crease is in line with the thumb. And you're just doing a little movement here, pressing through. Now, what I don't want to see is that you're arching your back to get through here, okay? Lock in that spinal position. You're just moving through those shoulder blades, pressing up and through for 10 reps. Okay, we really want to make sure we have solid hand position, spine is nice and neutral, and we're just activating that shoulder stabilizer, that scapular upward rotator, the good old serratus anterior muscle. The boxer's muscle wraps around the rib cage from the front, attaches to the shoulder blade at the back. It's crucial for shoulder function. And we're going to be doing some overhead pressing today, so we want to make sure we warm that up appropriately. Now, we're going to be doing 6 to 12 month plank transition. So this is where we really learn to keep a stable pelvis, where we go from the knees to the toes. So what I want you to do is get your arms out in front of you like you're going to start to do a plank, okay? Get those arms right underneath you. Don't have them out in front, okay? Right under the shoulders. Screw the hands into the mat. And now you're going to tuck your tail, okay? So you want to take your pelvis from being up in the air, tuck it under, find that neutral spine. So your head comes up into that nice neutral position. Now what we're going to do is just tuck the toes, lift through the knees into a high plank, keeping that tail tucked in that core set, down in the knees, down to the knees, up onto the toes, down onto the knees, and we're going to go for 8 reps here. So there's 3, 4, keeping that tail tucked so your core is tight this entire time, and this allows you to transition from knees to toes without changing your spinal position or your core. So this is how you set up a perfect plank. If you've ever had an issue getting directly into a high plank, start from the 6-month toes position or knees position, tuck the toes, come up underneath. I'm going to do 1 more here. Excellent warm up for the shoulders, for some shoulder stability. Really fighting for that spinal position. Great job. That's 1 round. Let's get 1 more round in. So we'll go back to the dead bug position. Okay, on our back, tuck the chin so we've got that nice spinal alignment. You don't want to be arched and looking up to the ceiling here. Tuck that chin, arms up overhead, And here we go with 6 reps on each side, 12 reps total, alternating arm, leg. Alternating. That's 3 more on each side. Tap that down, keeping these top 2 locked in. Ooh, I'm all disoriented here. Got a lot of focus here. Really fighting to keep that low back flat to the mat. So you got to have that tight core so that when you go down, you don't arch your back like that. Okay, you really want to make sure you're steady, sturdy, and stable. Okay, 1 more each side. We're getting the heart rate up a little bit, getting warm. We're going to go 1 more here. I always lose count as we talk our way through these warm-ups, but it's important to make sure we get all these cues. Warm-up is about quality, not quantity. We want to see perfect repetitions. Now, I'm going to do some serratus presses from a push-up position. We just did quadruped. Now I'm going to come into that high plank position, okay? Or you know what? Let's do some bear position, okay? Because we're going to work bear in the workout. So, hands under shoulders, screw the hands into the mat, come up on the toes. Now we lower down till the knees tap the mat, press up and through the shoulders, and we're going for 10 reps. Down through, up and back. Okay? It's a subtle movement. There's no bend in the elbows and no movement in the spine. It's all through the shoulder blades wrapping around the rib cage and back again. It's 5. So I like to go till my knees come down to the mat. That's how I know I've got some shoulder depression, retraction, and then push through. Get that protraction and that rotation around the rib cage. 1 more here. Excellent. Really getting the core primed up today. That's going to be key to help us achieve the workout through with great form. Okay, so here we go again with the 6-month plank. Hands under shoulders, screw the hands into the mat. As always, anytime you're planting your hands, you want to make sure you're rotating through your shoulders so that your elbow crease lines up with your thumb. That's how you'll know you're in the right position. Now from here, take your tail, tuck it under. So you're going to find that nice neutral plank position. Okay, tuck that tail. Now you're coming up onto the toes, tall plank, down to the knees. And we'll go for 8 reps here. Down to the knees, keeping that core tight, never losing that core position, that rib and pelvic alignment. Starting to smoke out the shoulders, get those all warmed up for the first movement in our workout, which is going to be a single arm curl to Arnold press. Let's do 2 more here. Excellent job. Okay, we're all warmed up. We've got a little bit of time left here to talk about the workout before we get into it. So we're sticking with the same variation as the previous 2 workouts. That's a 30 on, 10 seconds off. It's a 3-to-1 training ratio, which we've been on for 3 weeks. That's a good amount of volume, but we've shortened the work period. We've shortened the rest interval. That means we're going to get the heart rate way up, have some valleys when we have our 1-minute rest between rounds. We're doing 6 rounds, 6 exercises. You need a pair of dumbbells today. You can do this with a single dumbbell, obviously, but actually this is all single dumbbell work. So I've got a pair of dumbbells here to make things a little bit logistically easier. We'll walk you through some variations if this is outside your fitness level. But I think you'll find that everything today is nice and simple. Again, sticking with the fundamental movement patterns, you can have an excellent workout. It doesn't have to be crazy complicated. It just has to be difficult and sensible. And that's the thing that we've been sticking with this entire program. You know it well. And we're about to shake down the final workout in 12 seconds. So we're going to start with a single dumbbell. I have a 25-pound dumbbell here. I'm probably going to stick with this weight throughout the workout. We're going to start in a tall kneeling position for our dumbbell curls to Arnold press. And here we go. Left arm, dumbbell curl, now from here with your palm facing inward, press up overhead, rotate that palm out, okay? Palm comes back in on the way down, curl down to the waist. So now we curl up, palms facing in, press overhead, palms facing out, press down, palms in, and curl. Repeat, curl, Arnold press, curl, down, and time. Okay, opposite arm, short rest period. So we're gonna get progressively harder here by going from kneeling to split kneeling to standing. Okay, so here we go. Bicep curl, palms facing in. Arnold press, palms facing out. Curl back down, palms facing in. Drop that dumbbell and repeat. Curl, press, down, and in. Okay, so we want to make sure we get that full shoulder rotation on the way up in the Arnold press and the controlled curl on the way down. Arms out for counterbalance and stability, ribs down, abs crunched, getting that whole body tension, and time. Okay, now we did a little bit of a static move, a slower controlled move. Let's jack it up a notch, drop squats. I'll show you a variation. Step out, squat, stand, and step in. Step out, squat, stand, step in. Now, if you've got the full range of motion, we're gonna jump down and out, up and in. Jump out into a squat, up into standing. Okay? So it's a little bit of a squat jump. We're just gonna go with a little bit of a slower version here. We'll jack it up a notch in rounds, further rounds here. 2 more seconds. Jump out and drop, up and in. Okay. Now, we're going back down to the ground with our dumbbells. We're going to be doing Renegade rows. So let's go Renegade row with the left arm. That is a plank position, but we're going to start from our knees, okay? Plank from our knees, row to the rib cage, lower in control, and repeat. Okay, so you're going to be strong and static through this planted arm. Raise and lower in control. Now you want to make sure you're not rotating to get this row. Lock in that core position. We just worked on this 6-month plank and owning it. So now we get to exercise it a little bit and our abilities in that position by adding a little bit of load. Now, opposite arm, obviously. So knees tucked and row, lower in control, row. Okay, we're keeping that core locked in, spinal position. We're starting from the knees. We're gonna build up to high plank next round. Now, if you need to stay at the knees, that's totally fine. Let's keep this dumbbell moving. Avoid that rotation. Squeeze that elbow up to the ceiling. Dumbbell comes to the rib cage. And we're time. Now, final exercise, bear crawl, 30 seconds. We're just gonna hold bear position for 30 seconds, okay? So bear position, come up onto the toes, knees are elevated, back is nice and flat like you're a tabletop. Someone could come have a nice dinner on your back here. Keep that chin tucked. Fight the urge to look down between your toes. Keep your chin tucked in that spinal alignment. Fight for that positioning. We're just going to hold for 30 seconds in round 1, and then we'll start some movement in round 2 in time. Great job. 1 minute rest. This workout comes at you nice and quick. We got some slow and controlled movements that are a little more strength-based. We got some fast plyometric core and metabolic drills to jack up the heart rate in there. Great combination for an excellent workout to finish this program. Okay, so now we're gonna take our dumbbells and we're gonna go into a split kneeling position. Okay, so I'm gonna go split kneeling, left side down, right side up, and I'm gonna curl with my down arm. Okay, so here we go. Right foot forward, left leg behind, dumbbells in the left arm. We got 5 seconds and we'll be on to round 2 here. Curl, Arnold press. Okay, so here we go. Curl, Arnold press, lower in control, back to the side, and repeat. Curl, Arnold press. Now this position requires a little bit more core stability to perform this movement. We've taken one point of stability away. That was our knee. In the tall kneeling position, we've gone split kneeling here, making this a little bit more of a full body move. And then what we'll do is we'll go opposite side next round, and then we'll go standing for the final 3 rounds. That'll be the most challenging variation today. So short rest. Here we go. Right arm, curl, Arnold press. That's a rotating shoulder press. So curl with the palm facing in. Palm faces out at the top of the press. Palm faces in at the bottom, and curl. Repeat through 30 seconds here. Fight for that stability. It's a little bit more challenging here. Get strong through that back knee and that front foot. Arm out for counterbalance. Ribs down, abs crunched throughout the whole movement. There's nothing that says that a bicep curl can't be an excellent full body drill. So, drop squats. We're gonna hop out into a squat here, and I'm just gonna make this a little bit more continuous this round than I did last round. And we're just trying to keep the body moving. Now again, if this is too difficult for you, just do an air squat. Just do an air squat. Or you can jump out and do a squat, step back in. Jump out and do a squat, step back in. Okay, but I'm gonna keep this moving and time. Now back to the mat. Renegade rows. I'm gonna do one more round from the knees, and then I'm gonna finish the next. Actually, I'll do 2 more rounds from the knees. I'll finish the last 3 rounds from the hands. So here we go. Plank position, row to the side. I'm in that 6-month plank, strong through this front shoulder. Planting, getting that rock and stability, keeping that tail tucked underneath, spinal position. Rowing to the side, you want to feel that shoulder blade roll around your rib cage. Lower it in control, and repeat. So we're getting our plank here and our pull pattern. So we've got pulls, we've got pushes, we've got planks, which are carries. We've got our squat pattern built in, and a bear crawl is a full body setup. I went way over on that one. My apologies. We're onto the right arm. Bear with me here. Right arm. No rest here because I screwed up, but that's okay. It just gets us fired up. I was so focused on my exercise. Right arm, Renegade rows from a 6-month plank position or a plank from the knees position, 2 seconds. Time. Okay. Now, bear crawl. We're going to crawl in a linear format. So we're going to crawl forward and back. Okay. Here we go. Up onto the toes. I'm going to go opposite arm leg. I'm going to crawl 4 steps forward and then 4 steps backward. Now, hips stay down, back stays flat. So that person that was having dinner on your back, as long as they can move with you or they've got a nice swivel chair, they can still have their meal and not spill their wine with you crawling forward and back here. 2 more seconds. Time. This workout is going to get intense. I can feel it already warming up. Things are looking really good. See if we can't get a little noise out of the timer here so I don't do that again. Woo! Catch your breath. Grab a drink. So you really only need 1 dumbbell for this circuit. What I'm going to do when I get into the high plank rows in round 4, 5, 6 is I'm going to use 2 dumbbells to elevate my arms a little bit. It'll give me a little more range of motion on the row. It'll make it a little bit easier on my wrist to stabilize. If you have 2 dumbbells, you can do that option. If you don't, stick with the variation that we've been doing for the first 3 rounds. Okay, now we're going to go split kneeling single arm bicep curl to Arnold press, but we're going to do the same leg forward as the working arm. Okay, so left leg forward, left arm, curl, Arnold press, down, curl. So now we're increasing the range of motion and stability demands on the same side of the working arm. Makes this a little bit more difficult, yet to have that stability built in. Press, lower, Ribs down, abs crunch. This biceps curl is a full body exercise if you do it right. And time. Okay. Now, right side, right arm, right leg. Right leg forward. Right arm has that dumbbell. Here we go. Bicep curl, Arnold press, and 30 seconds. Curl and press. Now, if you have access to a number of different weights, you want to make sure you're doing a weight here that's challenging for 30 seconds. This is more of a strength-based move, although it does get your heart rate up, challenging the core, challenging the leg stability, the hips, but we want to make sure that we've got enough weight built in to make this effective. So, drop squats. Here we go. I'm going to drop squat and up. Drop squat and up. Drop squat and up. After this round, we're going to throw in, for the next 3 rounds, a 3-way drop pattern. We're going to do drop split squats left and right and a drop squat. So we're going to get our lunge patterns mixed in as well. Arms come out for counterbalance. Drop into that squat. Hop on up. Nice and dynamic. Plyometric strength. Okay. Now, left arm. I'll try not to mess this one up. Renegade rows. Plank position. Get that pelvis set. Get that shoulder strong. Row, lower and control. And repeat 30 seconds. You want to own every second of that row. So we don't want to see something that's like this. If you're doing that, it's too heavy. Maybe you need to go to a bear position row. It's a little bit easier, okay? But we want to see you in that plank position, raise and lower in control throughout. Beautiful. Right side. Wow, this is good. This is really good. What a way to finish. Knees tucked underneath. Plank. Row, lower, in control throughout the movement. You want to make sure that your chest stays level to the mat and the floor. No rotation. That's the key to a carry pattern, is eliminating rotation through the core as you do things with your extremities. That's the point. That's where a plank applies, a carry applies. Excellent. So now what we're going to do, we're going to do a lateral movement bear crawl. So I'm going to crawl to the right, I'm going to crawl to the left. Okay, bear position, toes tuck under. I'm going to step opposite arm leg. I'm going to go 4 steps to the left. And now I'm going to go 4 steps to the right. So now we're breaking out of that sagittal plane. We're getting into the coronal plane and mixing things up a little bit in the bear crawl. And then we got a real treat in round 4 with some rotational crawls. It's going to get real spicy. And time. Good job. 1 minute rest. We are halfway done. Now it gets intense because we're going to crank up the variations to all of the harder versions for 3 rounds. So we had 3 rounds of variations building up to what I would consider to be the full movement patterns. And now we get to push it for 3 more rounds. That'll cap off our program. What a way to end it. What a way to end a month, a crazy month. It's been good. I've had a ton of fun, and I'm enjoying this one right now, let me tell you. Okay, 20 seconds. So now we're going to go standing, single arm, bicep curls to Arnold press. Okay, standing increases the core requirements even further, making this an even more full body move. Ribs down, abs crunch. Dumbbell curl, Arnold press, lower and down. Repeat 30 seconds here. Press, lower and control. Control throughout. This isn't about speed. Remember, this is a strength-based move. We want control and perfect repetition, okay? Own it. Keep those ribs down, abs crunched. Full body tension. That's going to give you that whole body workout feel you're looking for in this movement. And time. Woo, 10 seconds is not long enough, let me tell you. Great way to get that metabolism up, get that heart rate spike. Okay, here we go. Right arm, curl, Arnold press, down, lower, curl, Arnold press. Keeping that stance locked in, ribs down at his crunch. Keep that pelvis and diaphragm, rib cage aligned, stacked, and you'll be strong through the whole body. It'll let you have more access in the shoulders, more strength and stability. Final repetition. And now we're going drop squats, but we're going to change it up. We're going to go 3-way drop squats. Okay, so I'm going to do a drop forward or left lunge, drop right lunge, drop squat. Here we go. Drop forward lunge and up, right and up, squat and up, left, up, right, up, squat, and repeat. Keep it coming. 30 seconds. This is about getting the heart rate going, really getting that metabolism spike right in the middle of the interval of the round. We want to keep it moving, increasing coordination. And time. Renegade rows. Now, real treat coming at you. High plank Renegade rows. We're going full deal. 6-month plank, onto the toes, and row, lower and control. Now I'm using this second dumbbell because it gives me a little more elevation to be able to get a full range of motion from my rowing arm. It's definitely not necessary if you only have one dumbbell at home, but if you have two, you can give this one a try. Strong through that front arm, rocking that plank position. Raise and lower in control. Now we go opposite side. That's a lot of time in a plank. Excellent for the core. We've earned this. Tuck the toes, row, lower in control. 30 seconds. Short intervals of work, short intervals of rest. Raise and lower in control. If you start to lose control on the way down, back into a side plank, okay? This may be a fast-paced workout, but it doesn't mean that you can sacrifice form for fatigue. You have to own every second. Now, make sure you've got lots of space for this one. We're doing rotational bear crawls. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to walk in a circle in a bear position. I'm going to go all the way around to the left, come back around here to the front. I'm going to go back to the right, drawing a clock pattern, staying in that bear position, crawling in place, all the way back around to the right, and back to the left. One more second. Time. Round 4. Done. Donezo. Lots of water required for this one. Heart rate's up. Breathing heavily. Getting a little sweat on. All fantastic things. Okay. I'm getting rid of my mat because now I'm in that nice tall plank position. I don't need the mat for the knees. I got more space that way. And we're going to stick with those variations now, with the exception being the bear crawl, for the next 2 rounds. So now the goal is match your effort level from round 4 and round 6. Okay, sustainability and endurance, keys to fitness. So make sure you've got enough in the tank that you can do round 5 and 6, the same as you just crushed out round 4. So here we go. Standing single arm bicep curl to Arnold press. Curl, Arnold press. Lower, down to the side, and keep it coming. Now we're starting to get that fatigue of rounds 1 through 4 in the biceps, in the shoulder pressing muscles. It becomes a lot more difficult to get the same number of reps in with form and control, but you got to push for it. Find that second gear to get all your reps in. 10-second break. Right arm, standing, Ribs down, abs crunch. Now, if you find, again, like the standing version is starting to become too difficult, you've got all kinds of sway, and your bicep curls looking like this, okay, I want you to go back down into either split kneeling or tall kneeling. Go back to a position that you're more stable in and allows you to rock this movement with perfection. Like I said, there's no sacrifice in form for fatigue. We won't have it. Okay, 3-way drop squat. We're going drop forward lunge, left, drop forward lunge, right, squat. Here we go. Left, up, right, up, squat, up, left, up, right, up, squat. And keep that going. And what I'm gonna do at the 15-second mark here is I'm gonna go from one rep to the other continuously. So now I've got no pause in between. It makes this way more metabolic, more reps, faster pace, no stop at the top. Wow. Here we go. Renegade rows. Always setting up from a 6-month plank, 12-month plank. Row to the side, lower and control, and repeat. I like to have a wide base in my plank for this one because that allows me to be more stable in rotation. If you want to go with a narrow stance, you'll find it to be more difficult. So if you want more of a challenge, go with a narrow stance there. Otherwise, stick with a wide stance for the added stability. Just a little disclaimer, if I stop talking, it's because I'm struggling, and that is awesome. So here we go, right arm. 5 more seconds, guys. 2 more reps. 1 more rep. Excellent job. Wow. So intense. I love it. Let's go now. We're going to go forward and sideways crawls. So 1, 2, 3, 4 steps forward, 4 steps to the right. For me, 3 steps because I ran out of space. Walk back left. Okay? And now reverse forward. Right. Left. Reverse. Whoa. Heart rate in the 180s. That's high. That's good. So what I need to do now is I need to get that down. I need to get back into a rested state where I'm prepped and ready for round 6. Because like I already said, sustainability is key. We want to see the same amount of effort rounds 1 through 6. There is no falter. We want to be able to own it. And that's why we do variations to build our way up to peak. If you start your marathon like it's a sprint, you'll never finish. And no matter how short your workout is, no matter how short the intervals are, fitness is always a marathon. Here we go. Single arm bicep curl standing, 2 Arnold press, curl, press, down and lower, curl, press, down, lower. Make sure you get full extension in that arm overhead. Oh, in time. This last round is going to require some serious grit, a big push, and we're going to be done. You've worked 3 2/3 of long weeks here to get to this very moment. You're testing yourself. You're seeing what you've built. You should be proud of what you're doing right now and what you've been able to do over the last 3 weeks, last 4 weeks. Oh, in time. This has been no joke, and you guys have done it together with us, with each other. You've achieved something, and that's fantastic. For the whole interval, I'm going nonstop between movements. So no stop at the top. Lunge, jump through to lunge, jump through to squat, lunge, jump through to lunge, jump through to squat. Keep it coming. Lunge, lunge, squat, lunge, lunge, squat. If this is too difficult to coordinate, do the 3-way with the stop at the top, or go back to just a straight up drop squats. Woo! This is where it's going to get intense right here. This is it. Tall plank. Row. Lower. Row. Lower. One more rep. Oh, this is a great way to finish right here. This is the ultimate plank challenge. Plank and row. You ultimately end up doing a full minute of planks, single arm planks nonetheless, from the toes, if you're at this variation. And now we add a row, which is a huge anti-rotation challenge. And finally, multi-directional bear crawls. Let's get it. 30 seconds. Forward. Forward. Okay. Sideways. 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 Back to the side. Back to the side. Reverse. Forward. Keep those hips down. Keep that tabletop position. Fight for it. We got 8 more seconds. And time. Woo! You know what, guys? We're done. We're done. Fundamentals of Fitness, 4-week program to develop mastery, full body control, strength, stability in the 6 fundamental movement patterns, making you a more functional human being. That's what we should all strive to be. Okay, coming into a classic here. I feel like I need just my straight up breathing recovery position after that one, just to get my body reset. So I'm coming into this 10-month tall sitting position. So I've got my legs spread in front of me, but I want to make sure I'm not slouched, okay? Slouching forward takes away the mechanical advantage of your diaphragm. So get nice and tall, like someone's pulling you up by the crown of your head. Getting nice and tall here. You can hold on to your ankles if you want. You can put your arms out here. You can rest your arms on your knees. But ultimately, we just want to make sure that we're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, with a little bit of a hold of the breath on the way in and after the exhale. I'll walk you through it here in a second. Okay. So let's do a couple box breaths to finish out this cool down. We'll do some 3-second box breaths because I know my breathing rate's way too high for a 4-second right now. That's okay. It's just knowing your body. So get nice and tall. Here we go. In through the nose, 3 seconds. Holding for 3 seconds. Exhale for 3 seconds. Holding for 3 seconds. And repeat. All right, you know what? My back started to feel a little bit achy in there during that one, so I'm going to finish off 2 minutes with some alternating scorpion stretch. An excellent low back hip mobility drill. So let's lay on our stomach, arms out to the sides. I'm going to take my right leg, bring it behind my body, plant it on the ground, open up the chest, open up the hip, give my spine a little bit of rotation. Now I'm going to come back and go the opposite direction. Left, plant that leg in behind and rotate. Try to keep those arms on the mat. And I'm just going to keep going back and forth, rolling and mobilizing my spine through a number of different ranges, getting a little extension, getting a little rotation through the thoracolumbar junction, a key transitional area. Really just giving some love back there. And like I said, also opening up the chest and the hips. Excellent full body mobility to drill to do at the end of a long day, at the end of a long week, after a hardcore workout. Wow, I feel much better after that one for sure. All right, everybody. That's that. You crushed it. You owned it. You put the work in. And you've developed yourself an excellent foundation to go forward and do whatever fitness endeavor you have. If you want to train for a triathlon, or you want to just run a 5K, or you want to be able to bench press, or you want to be able to do a deadlift, or maybe you just want to be able to go on a long hike. You've built in a foundation that will get you wherever you want to go. The things that you've learned here in this 4-week program will help you achieve whatever goal you have. I'm so happy to have been alongside you with it. And for the 4 weeks, I know that we have more content coming at you guys. We've got some big things in the mix. Keep your ears out for that. Spread the word. Share this program with your friends and family. Let us know, or let them know to get in contact with us. It's going to stay available. And if you really enjoyed this program, share it with somebody else, or share the information about it with somebody else, and let's get them doing that as well. Let's get everybody an excellent foundation in the fundamentals of fitness. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.